thinking which forms the language. Let us see what happens, how languages influence our thinking. We will just see different languages, basic structures in different languages, and let's see how different languages have influenced people and people who speak particular languages, how they tend to describe, how they tend to see the world in a different way. Let me just share the screen because a language, as I said, is thinking is nothing but it's a flow or it's a chain of words. Whenever you start thinking, it's the words that matters. The words which come to you, you think in terms of words and whatever language you are very fluent with. Sir, is my screen being shared? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, Anand. So let's see the basic sentence. My name is, yeah, we can see that my name is Hamid. Uh, that's the first one. In Arabic, you can say Ismi Hamid. And in English, my name is Hamid. And in French, we see that Je m'appelle Hamid. If you want to see Spanish, mi nombre est Hamid. So what is that? How this one is going to change? See, in Arabic, if you see ismi, the word itself is connected with the possessive adjective. There is no separate possessive adjective. Those possessive adjectives means in English language. I just explain in English because that's the common language for us. It's possessive adjectives like my, your, his, her, are. These words are, yeah, we all know that it's possessive adjective. So in Arabic, if you see that is a part of the noun, usually it gets attached to the noun. It is along with the noun. Whereas if you see in French, in English, it is a separate word, my name. It's a my, your, his. It's as different words. But whereas if you go to French language, you will see that it is Je m'appelle Hamid. Actually, how a Frenchman understands this, because I'm specialized in French, I little go deep with English and French than other languages. So, je m'appelle Hamid. How this French look at the construction itself. Je refers to the word of the subject pronoun, that is I, like in English equivalent. M'appelle, je m'appelle. There is no word which can exactly say that my name is Hamid. In this word, my je m'appelle, there is no word like name in this words. Je, first word, m'appelle, me, and appelle, Hamid. Je m'appelle. I'm just elaborating it, this word. Je m'appelle Hamid. In this, there is no word which means name. There is no word which means name. There is no word which means my. Yeah. It, but in English equivalent, when we translate, we understand in English as my name is Hamid. Then what this word je m'appelle, literally, if I'm going to translate word by word to English language, this in English would become I call myself Hamid. This is the construction in French. There's no way saying like I my name is Hamid. Je m'appelle Hamid. I call myself. This is a sentence which any French man would say to introduce himself, or if you ask what's your name, and how to ask what is your name. That's comment tu t'appelles. Here also there's no word involved like name or your. This would mean how do you call yourself? How do you call yourself? So in English, it looks very strange. You will never ever go and ask anyone like, how do you call yourself? How do you call myself? It is looking, but look at the construction. How a Frenchman, and this is the language influence. this is happening. So when you get used to different constructions of languages, the same thing in Arabic, if you see this word in English, my name is, that this is are, these are called copular verbs. In Arabic language, the copular verb itself is missing. Ismi, ana. There's another ways of saying ana Shamsuddin, ana Hamid. That's it. So there is no use of a copular verb. Or you make it along with the possessive adjective and say is me. So the different ways of how do we learn things that affects what our thinking process. How this is being established? This is being established in many researches. For example, in Russian language has got different words for colors. For example, just for blue alone, there are at least 7 words which means blue. What are the kinds of blue? Very light, mildly light, thick, dark, different shades. 7 shades of blue has got 7 colors, 7 words. So when you ask a Russian to describe a picture, he will be able to describe the picture very deeply as it matters to the colors. As it matters to the colors. When it comes to colors, he will be able to explain very deep facts, detailed information about colors. So, one small exercise I would like to do. Suppose I'll give you some words. Now, listen, I just give you square and a word like circle, uh, big, strong, rectangle. Imagine. These are the words that you are so good to use. How many words? Uh, Let me see. Green, gray. So we have some 7 words here. Yeah, 7 adjectives now. These, if I ask you, see, you have to explain, describe the animal lion. You have to describe the animal lion only with these 7 words, using these adjectives. Can you do it? See, you would.
Participants,
Pardon?
participants, please.
Yeah, I know. Only the 7 words, you have to explain lion, describe lion. So you have to describe lion, but these are the 7 adjectives. You may use sentences. The lion looks like that and all. You can use sentences, but the adjectives you have to use only the 7. What would happen? What can you say?
Lion is strong.
Strong. Anything else? Yeah, that's right. Lion is very strong. That's why it's called the king of the jungle. Okay. Lion is quite big when compared to any other animal. We can compare with a small animal. When lion is quite big when compared to a hyena, you may say. I can use rectangle, square. See, even though all of you, if I have simply asked you to describe lion, you would have come up with some 15 sentences by now. If I simply asked you, come on, describe lion, how a lion looks like, you would have said a lot of things by now. But when I gave you only 7 words and I told you, see, you have to describe but use only these 7 adjectives. Nothing more than these adjectives. Even though you are capable of using many sentences like the one which was given now, the lion is big. You may even say it is very strong. You may even say, actually, you could have said, lion is not square. The lion's body looks quite similar to rectangle. Uh, Lion is not, the lion's eyes are green when you look at it in the dark. Yeah, when you look lion in the night vision camera, it looks gray. So these are some sentences you could have said. The lion's head, the mane from a far distance looks like a kind of a almost like a circle when it looked at a distance. So these are the words you could have said, but nothing more. You could have talked about anything more. Why you got stuck? Because you had only these 7 words and nothing more than this. So your language, see, your thinking itself got stuck. Even though now I said quite at least for every word I could have made, I made one sentence like lion. The face of the lion is not square. At a distance, the lion's mane, along with the mane, it looks kind of a circle. The lion is quite big when compared to many other small animals in the forest. A lion is very strong, and the body of the lion in some way represents a kind of a rectangle. The lion's eyes are green in the night, and the night vision cameras, it looks gray in color. So these many words you could have said, but not beyond that. Not beyond that. After that, you totally got stuck. Why? Because the words and the words mean a lot. Words are the vehicles of your thinking. The process of thinking happens in any language. Now, I'm just not saying in English. It happens in any language. Words in any language, that's quite very important. For example, look at this word. In English language, we all know this word orphan. You know who's an orphan? A child or someone who doesn't have a father and mother or one of the parent becomes an orphan. That's a word for orphan in English. And what is this one? Widow.
A woman without a husband is called widow.
Husband, widow. And you have the masculine form. Am I right? Widower. But do you have a word? Parents without children. Do you have a word for that in English? Orphan is children without parents. Widow, one of the spouse without the other. Widower is the masculine form. But do you have a word for a parents without children in an English language? We don't. This has a big impact in the whole English culture, English words, English language. The people get so orphan, they immediately comes to your mind. Oh, who's an orphan? Yeah, that whole thing was. Widow, you know who's a widow. Widower, you know who's a widower. But is there a word? There is no such word. There's no word to explain parents without children. Is there a word? There isn't. So this has a huge cultural impact. The how the English people look into the world. For example, say in how do you see, like, I like this lecture, you want to say. So I like this lecture. Okay, I like this lecture, and you go ahead. But in French, if something, same thing has to be said, it will be like, moi, j'aime. Moi, j'aime. I like. This word moi is also a pronoun, which means I. This word je, which also means I. 2 times. Here in French language, what happens is doubling of the pronoun. Doubling of the pronoun. Like moi, which means I. Moi, j'aime la musique. J'aime ce qui se passe. I like what is happening. Moi, j'aime ce qui se passe. So this word doubling has a huge effect in French language. What does that mean? Giving importance to the self. In English language, I would never say I like. I would not repeat I many times. I would just say moi j'aime. But you know what is the equivalent in English language should be? For example, I think it's interesting. So in English we say I think it is interesting. Okay. I think it's interesting. But in French language, it will be like moi je pense ça c'est intéressant. Moi, je pense ça, c'est intéressant. Let me see. I'm not getting the French. Ah, I got it. Moi, je pense que ça, c'est intéressant. Intéressant, there's an accent. Good, I got it. So, moi, je pense que c'est intéressant. This becomes more like personal. Moi, je pense c'est intéressant. But in French, this is to be used in an argument. In an argument, when you differ in your opinion. When somebody is saying, "Oh, it's very boring," no, you're getting, "Moi, je pense c'est intéressant." No, no, it's not boring. It is very interesting. It's an argument point. But in English language, if you want to put it in an argument sentence, it would be like, I think it is not boring. My opinion about this is my opinion." You have to say something, words like this, similar construction, and then go ahead with your argument. But in French, just by doubling the pronoun, it forms an argument. Moi, je pense que c'est intéressant. And what about this? Look at this difference. I'm going to write a few sentences in French, like je suis arrivé means I reached. Je suis arrivé. This is also I reached. Can you guess why two words mean the same thing? Two sentences. This is also I reached. This is also I reached. I think you can guess it. Anyone? Why there are two sentences, but in English it is only one. I can translate these both one as only one. In English it is like I reached. But in French I have two constructions. Why? Any guessings? Anyone? This sentence is for, this is masculine. When a boy says, "I arrived, I reached," this is feminine. I reached, I arrived. For example, I went to the class, I saw this sentence. Je suis arrivé. Ah, I got the accents. Good. Now it's more clear. Je suis arrivé. The sentence number one, I just saw the sentence one. I understand that somebody came to my class and they've written it on the board, and that somebody is a boy. If I see the second kind of sentence, I understand somebody has written this sentence, and that is a girl. Now, what's the point is, in English language, if somebody has written "I reached," I only understand somebody reached. I don't have a clue to whether it is masculine or feminine. But when I look into the French version, very basic construction itself gives me the difference between a masculine and feminine. So what is the basic difference here is, in one sentence, I get one information in English language, whereas when it comes to French language, in one sentence, I get two informations. What is that information? That somebody reached, and that somebody is masculine or feminine. So two informations I have. Yeah. So how a language is becoming more powerful? A language is which language is powerful? Which is calculated? Like, language is, the power of a language is calculated on the kind of informations, the number of informations that it can give with a limited number of words. Yeah. So there are, for example, in Spanish, quieto in Spanish. Quieto means I like. See, there is no pronoun, subject pronoun at all. I here. It can also use be I think. Quieto means there is no subject pronouns used at all. Even without the use of a subject pronoun, that you can say I think, I like. So if one word, then it gives you a lot of meaning. For example, in English language, that's just one word, please. But in French, that is s'il vous plaît and s'il te plaît. There are two kinds of please. This is please. See, such a long word. This is actually how many words? It is separated. See, il, vous, play. 1, 2, 3 words. Then again, si, il, the, play. 4 words in French language just to say please. And that too, in French, you have a formal please and an informal please. When I want to say please to someone on my higher authority, please consider my letter, consider my recommendation, I have to say, s'il vous plaît. But I have talking to my friend, hey, please, come on, take it up, come on. Among my colleagues, my friends, I say, s'il te plaît. And somebody younger to me, s'il te plaît. But there is no such concept of please in French at all, in English at all. In English, there's just one please. To all the words, to all, whoever you talk, you can just say please. There's no formal and informal. So you can think that how this look out, how this is going to play an important role in changing your very perspective, the way you look at life. S'il vous plaît, s'il te plaît. There is two kinds of please. Just imagine. But in English, we got used to just one please. Please that to everyone. So here it actually, this really means literally, if it pleases you. This is the real construction. If it pleases you. S'il vous plaît. And this you, this is the formal you. That is why this is being used. And this you is an informal you. That is why that's the same meaning, but the you. But in English language, we just have one you. Yeah, there's no formal in olden English, we would have had the, though, all that stuff. Now it has changed. So how this construction of sentences, how it is going to change, how does it has plays an important role. We'll see some more anecdotes, inshallah, if possible, with some video. I had prepared some videos, but unfortunately, I'm not able to play it today. I think it's 7:30 already. Inshallah, if possible, we will see next time. But I would like to conclude by saying that language and thinking, language has a huge effect on our thinking, and vice versa. Thinking has the construction of a language. It gives way to construct languages. How different languages in the world changed, how people's culture is based on the language. It has different orientations. We will see that inshallah, if time allows us. I would like to wind up. It's 7:30 now. Jazakallah for giving me this chance. Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah, Janab, yes, Shamsuddin Saab. Today, we get a insight into French language. And previously, my idea was French is a very difficult language. But when Shamsuddin Saab is teaching us some fundamental words of French, our interest has increased. And sure, our teachers also may be knowing more word. So teachers, they will recommend, I'm sure they will recommend to their own students and even their own sons and daughters to learn French.
Yeah, that's good, sir,
It is an
inshallah.
international, yes, international language. So, silti play. I also learned one word.
Yeah, s'il vous plaît, s'il te plaît.
Silti play. So please, that means please have such type of interaction with us so that we know more and more about languages. So it is a very good attempt to make us understand how a language looks and how interesting it is. So Jazakallah, thank you very much. Much efforts you have taken, and we enjoyed it very much. Thank you very much. With this program comes to an end.